Starting to the top left is the second player for AZUBU. It is
AZUBU Vines.
No longer capitalizing all the letters in his ID, only capitalizing the V. He used to use all caps.
And to the bottom right, even though my thoughts always jump to SuperNova, it is of course not him. He already lost. This is the Terran player for the Prime team. This is
Byun Prime.
You know, it was always a mystery when Vines was playing originally, whether his ID was actually Vines or if he was trying to be Venus. Because the ID always said Venus, but...
And we talked about this in the past.
Yeah.
If you want to say finesse, for example, then the spelling in Korean is very much the same than when you spell Vines. So we never really had an idea how to pronounce it. Street Fighter boys didn't know either, but apparently Ken figured it out.
Yeah, if you guys want to learn a little bit of Korean right now, I'll tell you right now that there's no V sound in the Korean alphabet. So oftentimes use the P sound instead, and the same is true of F. So those sounds are fairly similar. Ask any German, he'll tell you, but...
Oh wow, burn. Right there. We need to have a talk later.
But look at this, we have a gas coming out for Byun. Much more common in Heart of the Storm. In Wings of Liberty, it was usually just kind of the one rack expand thing.
You know, the German accent is actually much more known for us not being able to pronounce TH.
That's true.
There's this famous ad where... We talked about this light tower ad on stream, I feel. There's a light tower and there's a new guy basically, and he gets a call from one of the ships,
yes.
and the ship is calling in and is like, "Mayday, mayday, we are sinking, we are sinking." And he's like, "Well, that's awesome. What are you thinking about?"
I've seen this ad actually. I saw it in high school in my German class. My teacher thought it was really funny.
Oh, believe me, that's not only true for your teacher. Everyone in Germany had quite a laugh about this ad.
I always wondered, I was like, do people in Germany think this is funny or they find this insulting? I don't know, but it turns out, and I guess they think it's pretty funny.
No, it's really funny. I mean, we enjoyed this quite a bit.
We have a Reaper.
Yep.
From Byun. He's not going to be rushing out any sort of Widow Mines or drop play. He's just going to get a quick scout here.
Exactly. Trying to find out what's going on here. The Reaper is an excellent tool. It has been changed quite a bit. Coming from Wings of Liberty now into Heart of the Swarm. Doesn't do as much damage to light armored units anymore as it did in the past. Very mobile. Regenerates hit points when not in combat. So a really great unit to just open up a game, finding out what your opponent does, and then reacting accordingly.
Yep. It's a very fast unit. And if he had seen that probe, he could have killed it easily and then scouted. And that's just the kind of frustration that a Protoss will have to deal with. Before the Stalker is out, it can be really scary if your opponent gets a quick Reaper. But as long as you micro your probes well, you're not going to lose anything. And in this case, he should lose no probes. And the Reaper should survive as well. He just wants to see how much gas are you mining? Yep. Do you have a Nexus?
The Stalker is already out, so there's no way for the Reaper to do anything at all. The probe actually comes in and sees the building. He sees everything that's being built here, so he knows it was in vision.
He sees that CC, which is really important for him to know. He also sees Stim is on the way. So he knows that it's not going to be a factory play at all behind this command center. He's not going to be facing fast drops and a CC. It's just going to be normal bio play. Yeah,
and we have now the expansion already being built for the Protoss here, which was scouted by the Reaper too.
You can never keep a secret from a Reaper, man. That's how they work.
It's tricky. It's definitely tricky. You can try, but there is only so much that you can do.
Yeah, Reapers, they know where Naniwa's going. They know what's going on with all the rumors. Yeah. The Reapers, they're really into gossip, actually. That's what you don't know about Reapers. They like to talk.
The thing about Reapers, on the other hand, is though you have to be willing to sacrifice them if you really want to find out what's going on. Depending on the matchup, of course.
Reapers can never resist, man. They just want to jump in there. They're like, I don't know what's on the top of this cliff. Well, let's jump and find out.
Yeah, it doesn't always work to their advantage.
There could be 20 Stalkers up there, but
could be a chest of gold.
I guess I'm gonna find out what's there. I gotta tell Byun.
Well, right now they already are trying to find out what's going on in this game. The Reaper is still active on the map. We have a very fast +1 attack upgrade now for Byun. Going into the engineering bay very early in the game, something that we've already seen in our first team matches here at the GSTL.
He could hit a pretty strong timing with Stim +1 and combat shields with a bunch of Marines with the reactors he's adding right now. Looks like that's what he's going to do. It's not going to be a more Wings of Liberty-esque build that his teammate Marine King popularized with Medivacs. I think he's going to hit before that. It's all up to him, though. He doesn't even have to attack, but he has that opportunity, and if he sees the moment like, hey, I'm going to stim in and attack you before you have those Colossi out, he may just do that. We saw it yesterday, in fact.
Talking about attacking, the Reaper just got away, the Stalker being a bit aggressive on the map, trying to move out and take the scouting unit down. And this is also one of the new things that we see now in the game. I'm not talking about the hallucination itself, but that you don't need to research the hallucination upgrade anymore. You can rely on it immediately when you have your first sentry. So Protoss players have been doing this a lot. Every Protoss player that feels like something might be going on here immediately just hallucinates Phoenix, sends it over, and you can hide nothing from those guys. I had an idea for a Carbot video. I was like thinking, what if there was a Carbot video where Hallucinate Phoenix forces Zerg player to panic and start making a bunch of spore crawlers, and then suddenly Immortals show up? That would be we always know, Wolf, there is no Protoss player out there that is above Bronze League that sends out a single Phoenix.
That's true, man. We know that. Well, this Reaper, wow, he got a kill.
He might get a second.
Kills. He has 3 kills. Who's that? That Reaper.
He gets another one.
He's like, I already know everything. Well, let's get out. He fails with that.
Yeah, that is the one task that he couldn't accomplish. But at least he takes down a few Harvesters here, so that was really well done. That Reaper definitely worth his money. Yeah. Not only because of the scouting information, but also because of this damage to the economy.
That's much more than a Reaper will normally do for you, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. What we have now is the Terran player going into the +1 armor upgrade, but the one disadvantage that he has, even though he went into early upgrades, is that he's still relying on a single engineering bay, whereas we have now the double forge for Vines, who now is going into +1/+1, so he will be able to catch up here.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, Byun sees with that Reaper what's going on in the main, and he sees the gates, and he decides he doesn't want to move out. He's going to wait for the medevacs before he does anything. He could have been already at the base now that combat shields are done, trying to put some pressure on against the sentries, but he wants to play this a little bit safe. And I like what Vines is doing here. He's showing the Immortal. He even hallucinates an additional Immortal, so he's basically faking Byun out here. He wants Byun to make the bunkers. He wants Byun to play on the defensive, while he, meanwhile, spends a lot of chrono energy on getting these Colossi out, getting the upgrades out as well. This is a great fake by Vines.
Hallucination in general is something that we see a lot more often. It's not only used as a scouting tool in the early game, it's also something that a lot of players have been trying to use to fool their opponents. It's just so much more accessible right now that it's definitely worth the shot if you have the surplus in energy.
Yeah. You can see not a lot of chrono energy being used on probe production. He's really focused on the upgrades. He has 50 probes versus 48, which, yes, is a lead, but the lead could have been more significant if he was chrono boosting his economy the entire time. He's really trying to get these Colossi out.
Here comes the Colossus, and the job is already going strong, but the Colossus helps him out quite a bit here. Needs to micro those Marines back, and he's doing a great job, and he's trying to get in.
Oh my god, that split is so sick. He's like, I'm just going to take the Colossus out and get out of here.
He takes it. He actually takes the Colossus with a Marine drop. That happens like barely at all.
It happens about as often as I find a $5 bill under my bed. Here comes an attack, though, at the natural, and he's going to be able to eliminate this Immortal, as well as some of those Stalkers. The Nexus Cannon is live.
Wow.
But he can go into the main base here if he wants to. The Mothership Core is now down. This is massive damage. He's down to 40 supply.
This is so strong. He does so much damage already. 27 Harvesters left against 50. This double drop is taking Vines apart in this game.
Yeah, Vines is basically dead. He's down to 44 supply versus 88. It's literally double. Went behind Dark Shrine, I suppose, but I don't know what he's going to do here.
The thing is, like, every single time when you see a double drop heading towards your base and you have one Colossus just popping out, you realize, okay, there are only Marines in there. You think, I'm fine. I have my Colossus out. Everything is going well. But then suddenly we have this sick split by Byun. He's moving those Marines in all the corners, and when the Zealots are gone, he just moves in, closes the distance, and takes the Colossus out.
Yeah, usually if you fight a Colossus like that, it's not pure Marine. You've got some Marauders mixed in there, and he had so many Zealots too. He patiently splits. Once the Zealots are gone, runs in, hits that Colossus, knocks it down. That was really well played by Byun. He took a drop that could have been pretty scary and made it into a game-ending potentially for Vines.
I don't think that Vines thought he would stick around. I thought he would just pick up and leave. And now he's boosting again, and he drops on top of those Colossi. They are immediately being focused. The stim is going strong, and both of them are down.
Yeah, he's got nowhere to run. You know, when you've got 2 drops versus 1 Colossus, you can make it work. I suppose if you have 2 Colossi, if you have 4 medevacs, the same math applies.
GG.